This ranking is based on the play score, a standard rating that averages gamer reviews and critic reviews.
Opening a list of top 10 free PS4 games is Let It Die. Following a large tectonic crash at a future Earth, a mysterious tower emerges from the ocean. Of course, the only thing to do is to enter the spire and kill whatever's in it. It's a roguelike hack and slash that doesn't skimp on the bloodworks. Master the art of combat and survive the hellish creatures of the Tower of Barbs. Death, if it comes, plays a significant part in the game, reanimating you in the other players' games and pitting you against them. Defeat the enemies and other players to collect weapons and equipment that will aid in your journey. Much like Dark Souls, it's a hard and punishing adventure. Like they say, live and let it die. It has a play score of 7.71. Number 9 is Warframe. An ancient race awakens to find themselves at war against many of the galaxy's alien forces. In Digital Extreme's cooperative shooter, you play as the Awoken Tenno, a race of ancient warriors tasked to fight against a Grineer invasion. Step into battle with your biomechanical suits and eliminate them from one planet to the next. Form your party of cosmic ninjas and venture through the sights of the solar system. Despite being free to play, Warframe packs a complete experience. It's loaded with content with more rewarded every month. Craft weapons Monster Hunter style, kill those nefarious extraterrestrials, and save the galaxy. It's a low-risk, high-reward investment that only requires your time, and it has a play score of 7.73. Number 8 is Zen Pinball 2. Warm your hands and crack your knuckles because this here is not your ordinary pinball game. A game from Zen Studios. There's not a lot of Zen to be had here. What you will have is a collection of addicting tables that hold an endless amount of fun. With licenses from Marvel, Star Wars, and more. Visit their iconic locations and relive your favorite moments pinball style. While it's not as realistic as Pinball Arcade, it offers a fun and varied gameplay with its interesting, albeit implausible mechanics. With 26 different themed tables, it's the dream pinball simulator that will keep you hooked for hours on end. It has a play score of 7.93. Number 7 is DC Universe Online. Ever wanted to take part in the comic book action? Of course you have! Fulfill all your childhood dreams and put yourself in the shoes of the universe's greatest. With their highly customizable characters, you can choose personalities, movement modes, weapons, powers, and your faction. Become hero or villain and side with your like-minded companions to vanquish evil or dominate the world. Enter your chosen faction and meet your favorite DC icons from the do-gooders of Justice League to the unruly psychopaths of the Society. Grow in your character's chosen path and go on missions along with friends and strangers. It's a handcrafted experience that lets you live the story straight from the comic books. It has a play score of 7.95. Number 6 is Neverwinter. While nothing will ever beat the bare-bones Dungeons & Dragons adventures, gathering around basement table with pens and papers in hand, it still leaves an inner longing to see the action unfold with your very own eyes. That's exactly what Neverwinter offers. From the makers of Perfect World comes a fantasy MMORPG set in the eponymous city of the Forgotten Realms. Play as one of the many race types and classes, and take up your role as protector of a devastated land. Based on the deep lore of the Dungeons & Dragons universe, immerse yourself in its complex and layered narrative, topped with beautiful visuals and impressive voice acting. Choose your own fate because this game has a play score of a flat 8. Number 5 is PlanetSide 2. Take part in the biggest first-person shooters ever created. The game does not joke around with the word massive. A sequel to 2003's PlanetSide, this MMO FPS can hold thousands of players in a single all-out interplanetary battle, winning the Guinness World Record for the most players in a single game. Continuing the lore of the first PlanetSide, head to the battlefield as one of the 3 competing factions, each with their own unique strengths and abilities. As with War, teamwork is key. Play your roles, coordinate with allies, and complete objectives together. While it deals in science fiction, it doles out a humble enough realism, sending you an intense battlefield full of panic, explosions, and those sweet, swift headshots. It has a play score of 8.07. Number 4 is War Thunder. It's time to rock and roll along with the superpowered vehicles of the greatest wars in history. War Thunder offers an encompassing battle experience. Conquer the battlefield from land, sea, and air. This game puts you in the driver's seats of German warplanes, Soviet tanks, and the fleet of the Japanese Empire. Other than their vehicles, it also tries to offer a lifelike experience of war in modes like realistic and simulator battles. You won't be the usual Superman, having to deal with physics, accurate damage models, and base reloads. Their newest update comes with even more reckless devastation, with new locations, game modes, and mechanics. Use your innate tactical wits or just shoot and blow things up. It has a play score of 8.09. Number 3 is the Playroom VR. Party up with the PlayStation 4's couch virtual reality game, showcasing the console's camera and DualShock controller. Immerse yourself in a new world and feel the vibrations with 3 built-in minigames you can play with your friends. Interact with 30 tiny robots and go back to the iPad days of the PS3. And take care of a cat-like robot, Asobi, or play air hockey. It also has 4 other DLCs that lets you make toys, play with an alien buddy, become a ninja, and work the stage. While these are technically just ads for the power of the PS4, it delivers a good enough party game for your friends to enjoy. And hey, it's free! It has a play score of 8.14. Number 2 is World of Tanks. You haven't played World of Tanks? Well then, here's a game that doesn't take war seriously. And that's a good thing. Focused on the joy of destruction, step into the battlefield as tanks from throughout the world's history. With millions of registered players, it's definitely as fun as their trailer suggests. With different varieties of tanks, there's always one that'll fit your style. Tinker around with heavies or lights, Chinese or UK, fast or slow, and blow the others away. Literally. Not only does it have intricately curated tank choices, it also has addicting and testosterone pumping action that feeds your hunger for explosions. Surrender to the hype and be one of the millions. It has a play score of 8.17. Here are the runners-up before we reveal the number 1. The Pinball Arcade, a realistic pinball simulation that lets you relive the arcade action. It has a play score of 7.69. Star Trek Online, Cryptic Studios' long and prosperous interstellar journey. It has a play score of 7.65. Loadout, a free-to-play third-person shooter that oozes with raging masculinity. It has a play score of 7.57. Trove, a voxel-based action MMO with fantastical classes and massive worlds. It has a play score of 7.51. Hawken, marvel at dystopian worlds and high-flying mechs and adhesive games freemium FPS. It has a play score of 7.41. You may get these games right now by clicking the links below. And the number 1 free PS4 game is Smite. When it comes to the best, nothing beats the privilege of entering the playground of the gods. While Hi-Res Studios' new MOBA borders on irreverent, that hasn't stopped them yet. Despite the many complaints, the game boasts over 80 deities, figures, and mythological creatures from the world's many lores and religions, along with a few questionable additions. Whether it's Zeus, Thor, Anubis, or Bob Ross, you're bound to find an icon you love or lose your religion entirely. Whatever game mode you choose, it's always a fight for praise and eternal glory. Humiliate the other gods and burn them as a sacrifice for yourself. With continuing supply of modes, events, and icons, it receives a play score of 8.31.
ينصح الخبراء اليابانيين باتخاذ الإجراءات التالية:
سبسكرايب، لايك، كومنت، فيفورت